Roll call, please.
One second, just trying to get this video going. Mr. Sheelanders,
Here.
Mr. Shaheen,
Yes.
Mr. Craner,
Here.
Mr. Harand,
Here.
and Trustee
I
Kotke.
want you to pronounce it. Kotke.
Kotke,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
I'm here.
Everybody's here.
Oh, is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So motion.
It's been moved and supported.
I'll second that.
You catch the mover and supporter? Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have a disclosure of conflicts of interest. There's a portion of our agenda where anybody on the board who is, feels that they have a conflict with the item on the agenda gets to declare it. Is there anybody who wishes to declare a conflict of interest? Hearing none, we will move forward. There's also a place on the agenda for public comments on things that are not on the agenda. If you're here for the agenda, you don't need to say anything. If there's something else you would like to discuss, we'd like to hear it. Anybody care to comment? Hearing none, we will go ahead. We have the minutes of May 20th, 2025 to approve. Is there a motion to approve them?
I'll move.
It's been moved.
Second.
It's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed. We don't have any old business that I'm aware of. The new business is a variance request on Slate Road. Is the applicant in the room? Would you please come up at the table, sir? Before I let you start, I think it's important for you to understand, we are here to hear appeals of things on the agenda, things where the public doesn't believe our rules meet their requirements, and we are here to listen to any requests to change them. But we are bound by the four principles, which I think staff went over with you. In order for us to give you a variance, those four conditions have to exist. And that's what your job is, as you present your case, what your defense is to say each of these is met. And we'll be happy to hear that. Please proceed.
Can I have this young lady help me out here on this?
Sure. Introduce yourself, please, for the staff.
Myself,
Both.
my name is Jean-Guy Daniel, I'm the landowner, and this is Pat Cross.
Welcome. Are you a resident? Do you have a location? Do you live
I
here?
do not live in the township, no.
You're just here to support him?
I'm here to support him. I filled out the majority of the application and did the site plan
Okay.
for the variance request.
Is that microphone working?
I don't know.
No, it's not on, I don't think.
Are ours working? No, it is.
You want to put it?
Yeah, you can pull it closer to you.
Put it in between them, then
Yeah.
we both can be picked up.
Are ours working? Can you hear me? Okay.
That's
Please
for the-
proceed.
That's for the purposes of the recording.
Who would like to begin?
I can start if that's all right with the board, if you're all right with that?
Yes.
Okay. So I would like to address the board related to the items that have to be met.
Please pull a little closer. I have a hard time.
That's all right. I also talk soft.
Cool.
So,
Thank you.
The items that were listed that need to be met and that were recommended that they were not met, I would like to address those items if I may.
Please.
It was said that the first item about the difficulties, practical difficulties in the site, and what we had talked about is that in the application, what we brought to attention was the fact that the existing site already has buildings on it. It has a driveway already present, and because of the location of the existing house, the lot size, as far as the road frontage that is required, is not doable. It's not possible. There's not enough land there. But we are saying that the properties across the road, directly across the road, and that go a little farther west as well, they are 100-foot properties rather than 150 feet, which is the new ordinance requirement. And so we understand that, but we believe that because of the site existence where the buildings are located on the site as it is now, that is a practical difficulty. It's not something that we can tear down the existing house and make use of the balance of the
All
property.
right, as we go down this list, as we're doing, if you have questions about her answers, please feel free to raise them. Let me do something I forgot to do. Can I turn to staff and have you summarize what you told the commission and what you believe to be the case?
Yeah, for sure. I'll just highlight some of the stuff that you guys can find in our staff report in front of you in the packet. So as the applicant had just mentioned, they're seeking a variance from our frontage requirements, and that would be section 7.5 for the low-density residential district, which is the zoning district that this falls into. So the applicant is proposing a split of the parcel that I have on my screen here, and the split that they're proposing would be this blue line roughly. I can pull up this is the site plan that was submitted to us. But within this zoning district, the road frontage requirements are 150 feet if a parcel is over 30,000 square feet in area, which this newly created parcel would be upon the split.
Does that explain why the lots across the street might be 100 foot and their lot is not?
I do not believe so. I can pull this back up again. These lots across the street, oh yeah, they would be under the 30,000 square foot in
So that's the
area.
difference of why on the one side of the street, you've got one size and the other because the lot size is bigger.
Yes, so if this proposed lot for the split were to be under 30,000 square feet, then the 100 foot of frontage would be allowed. But today they're seeking about a 46 foot deviation from the standard just due to the size of their lot.
Okay. Please.
The other piece of that is that we did go to the Clinton County Road Commission and ask them to take a look at whether they would allow a driveway at the location that we indicated that it would go. There is an existing farm lane there, or an older farm lane. There's already a culvert there, and we had to make certain that they would even allow a driveway in that location, and they did give us a permit to put a driveway in should the split be approved. So we did follow that portion of it to make certain that it would meet that ordinance requirement as well, that we could actually put a driveway in that spot. Now, we could certainly take a look at reducing the size of the land divisions so that there was less than 30,000 square feet within that parcel. That's certainly an option, if that would be a direction the board would prefer that we look, because it would be just a matter of having it resurveyed and taking a look at whether the board would entertain that. But rather than go to the expense of having a survey, we would like that input back from the board, whether that would be something that because again, we're looking at that 150 feet versus 103 feet. And the variance, my understanding of how a variance works is if you have historical property within that same general area within so many feet that are also not adhering to that particular 150 feet, because this is a new ordinance that was passed. I realize it's not new to you, but it was new from the time when the original parcel was put together, that we would, certainly can consider doing that as well, rather than creating a second reason for a variance. That would address item number 8 that you're talking about, was the first item. Item number 3, which is related to the fact that was a property purchased with foreknowledge that would be non-conforming. And actually, the property was purchased in April of last year. And at the time, there was no knowledge by the owner that there was even a split available for that property. When we came to the township and talked with Beth Otke, we asked her we knew that there had been a split in the entire parcel. If you take a look further up, if you have the ability to zoom out further on that screen, if you take a look up Corriedale Lane there, that entire piece of property originally was one piece that was owned by Mary, and she split it into different parcels when it was first developed. She had the required number of splits that the county allows within that piece. She divvied up those splits. When we asked if there was a split available, because the assumption was, where is that actually sitting if there is a split left? She said Ms. Vodke was very kind, and she spent quite a while researching that. And in July of last year, she was able to locate that there actually was a split. And unbeknown to anyone, including the owner of the property, the split was actually located on the pond site that fronts on Slay Road. And obviously, that's not a logical place for a split, because really there's not a way to split that off and have a buildable site because of the pond. We were informed that it was possible at that point that split could actually transfer to any of those parcels that were owned by Dr. Jonke, because they actually were contiguous. They're all part of a parent parcel. And so we proposed, the original proposal was that we do a land split or a land division for the property that had just been purchased on Slay Road, Mary's old place. And in order to make that feasible, Dr. Jonke has a son that would like to build on that parcel. So it's not like it's going to be built in order for a stranger for sale, for a turnover, to make a profit. That's not the purpose for the division, is to build a home for his son to live in. So there was no pre-knowledge that there was even a split available on that property until after the purchase came in. So I don't feel that there is a basis for saying that we did not meet that requirement. And I'm obviously, that's just an opinion, so it would be really interesting to know how that conclusion was reached, that doesn't meet that requirement. I didn't see anything in the ordinance that would preclude that. However, if there is a requirement that we would find, if there's something that you could tell us that could be addressed in order to make this variance go forward, even with a change in the division of the property to lower the amount of square footage in that, we would be happy to know what that is so that we can address it as needed.
I mean, I can address your concerns a little bit if you'll let me,
Please.
Chair. Well, first of all, I want to touch on a couple things that you had mentioned. So the first thing I want to touch on is you said we're looking to explore other pathways of moving this variance forward, whether that be shrinking the lot to under 30,000 square feet, you said. Actually, per our standards, if you were to shrink the lot to that size, then this road frontage wouldn't even require a variance, and then it would just go into a land division evaluation. And I mean, Beth can speak more to you about that. It sounds like she's been rather involved in the process already. But then that 100 foot of road frontage is totally fine, and the variance doesn't even need to be granted here tonight. As in regards to what you had mentioned about evaluating whether the original sale and knowledge of the split was appropriate for question 3, I believe you were talking about. That is what the board's here to decide tonight. Unfortunately, we're just here to hold up our ordinance standards, and that's why we have to recommend a denial, but that's what the board is here to give you a shot at tonight for that variance of under 150 feet.
Can I if I understood you correctly, if they reduce the size of the lot, under the 30,000 square foot occupancy, they would not need a variance?
No, they would not.
And you understand that?
Yes.
You asked that question, I think, if that was
Absolutely.
possible.
I understand what the.
Let me build on that, because as I looked at your, board is quiet, so I'm going to talk.
No worries.
When I looked at your variance, it looked like you wanted a flag lot. And our planning committee forbids flag lots.
Right.
And so I couldn't figure out what you could ask us for that we could give you to satisfy your need, because the ordinance is clear. Your lot does need as it is, as you bought it, as you brought it to us, it requires 150 foot of frontage, and you don't have it. And if we allowed you to split it, we'd be creating a non-conforming use. So I think that's a very important point. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Yeah, and not knowing it, it's a self-created situation, so granting an ordinance is, we could be sued over it and lose. case law is Johnson versus Robinson Township, where because the house is there, if it was over to the right, yes, you could create the space that you need, but because she put it there, because she's the previous owner, it carries to you. And we can't, by law, can't grant that. The only way I know about the case law is because I
Sure.
took the class.
No, yes, please.
Took the class on zoning appeals, and it's the landmark case that they use about self-created issues.
Okay, thank you.
Further questions or comments?
Well, I'm multiplied the 103 times 285, which is the depth of your lot, and that comes out to a little over 29,000 square feet.
So it's under the 30,000.
So it's under the 30,000 if you just went straight back. And, you know, is that road on the sewer? Are there sewers over there? You're gonna have to have a drain field.
That is outside of my knowledge. I believe that it be a septic field. Do you know if you're, it has sewer on that road?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a pumping station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
okay, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
Well, let me ask the board a question. Do you think we ought to stop at this point and see what they want to do with that change?
Well, to me, that change wouldn't have a bearing on, well, it would, you know, indirectly, but what we're tasked with, I believe, is yay or nay a variance.
Yes.
And so I don't think it's our purview to get into, you know, if they wanna wiggle things around and not have to have a variance. I think it's just to rule on this.
Well, I think, I don't disagree with you, I think you're right. But I think if they see a different solution, we don't have to talk for 2 hours.
There you go.
Because I didn't see a reason to approve this personally, quite honest with you. But you've opened the door to a discussion that might help you change your application and come back. Or you would need to come back.
Right, we would just go to the zoning board for a land division rather
Yeah,
than
good.
having to go through the ZBA.
I appreciate your clarity.
I have a couple questions. My understanding is that you're looking to access the northern back portion of the property, correct? You want to build a house back there?
I think that's southern, but that's okay.
It's
No,
a
that's
Is
northern,
it northern? Okay.
northern
Um,
State Road.
Why are you trying to do it that way? Why don't you just use an easement to get back there?
You mean from Cordell?
From Slate Road, just get an easement to access the back.
Is
And
that
it could be a
doable?
mutual easement, you can put all sorts of
I
conditions
didn't
on the
think so.
easement.
That's a flag lot.
From the house that is there right now, having an
No,
easement.
the
The flagpole.
103-foot
Can't do that.
on Slate Road
Okay.
that runs north 265 feet.
Yep.
Why couldn't that just be an easement? Why do you need a land division to do that?
I don't think they can do that under the ordinance, because that basically creates a flag lot.
No, they're not conveying title to the property. They're just creating an easement.
I understand what you're saying, but then you would have to get permission to build a second residence on a single lot.
Yeah.
And would that be a variance as well? Beth would probably
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Beth, do you wanna speak to this?
Under our ordinance, you can't have two residents on one parcel.
Right.
So that wouldn't work on that.
No, I guess I'm not making myself clear. I'm saying an actual conveyance for the back portion, the northern portion where the house is gonna be, you're gonna separate that out. But the 103 feet would not be a fee, it would be an easement to access the property.
Yeah, I think that,
But you can't create
a
a,
separate parcel.
and you can't create a lot without road frontage, because
Yeah.
that would be a landlocked parcel.
No, you're using an ingress-egress easement to access the northern portion of the property that you're gonna sell. Is there Have you explored the possibility of an easement? Is that something that would be violative of the ordinance?
That kind of draws into question, again, the variance that they're here seeking tonight is because you can't make a parcel that doesn't connect to the road, so you need that frontage piece. So the 103 feet of frontage that they're seeking would be basically the minimum if the lot were to be
I mean,
under
We can
30,000
certainly seek
square
an
feet.
easement, break off just the back and seek an easement, but the problem is that you can't legally, my understanding is, you can no longer anywhere in the state of Michigan can you create a lot that does not have access to a road. So an easement is not considered legally access to the parcel. It no longer is allowable for a land division without having the parcel, the piece of it that connects to the road. It cannot be an easement. It has to be a part of the parcel that you're creating. Is that correct?
To my
So,
knowledge,
yeah, we
yes.
could not create a landlocked parcel and then just give them an easement from Slave Road up into that area. And without it being a separate parcel, we could not get a building permit to build a home.
And I'll come back to my original question. Yes,
And again, we're deviating from the purpose of our meeting here.
I'm sorry, you're correct. Well, in some ways, yes, but in other ways, we often try to find another solution.
Oh, certainly.
If they have an option
Yeah.
that is valid, we help them do it, it's okay.
Okay, I have a couple other, I'm sorry.
Sure.
No, that's,
We've given the planning department authority to issue variances within a certain percentage, correct? Where we
Yes,
don't need to.
10%.
10%?
Okay.
What would they need to, how much would they need to reduce the size of this, or increase the size of this? No, actually.
Are you
Decrease.
talking about increase their frontage or decrease
Yes,
their lot?
in order for them to be given an administrative variance, if you want to call it that.
For 10%, we can run the math on that right now, but,
You're still
they're
asking for
seeking a
20.
46-foot deviation from our current standards, so they would have to be within, what is that, 15 feet of the 150, so they'd have to increase it by about 30, 35 feet.
35 feet.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Then they're running
Puts it
into-
right up against the
If
side
we
of
do
the
that, we end up
house.
without the right side setbacks from the existing house. And, you know, there's a 20-foot easement or 20-foot side lot, requirement setback on the west side of the property there. So in order to reduce it, to the amount, we would be within 5 feet of the actual existing house. That would still require a variance.
Right.
That was, I mean, it would still require a variance from the planning or the zoning board of appeals, whichever, in order to do that. I mean, he'll own both properties, so as a property owner of the house, he's not gonna disagree with it, but whether the planning department would actually, allow that within their, purview, whether they would have the ability to do that, and it's certainly something we could pursue if that would be a recommendation by the planning department.
I mean, honestly, because it goes against our ordinance, I'm not gonna recommend that at all, but, that would also put us right back here, searching another variance for the same situation, so.
I know that a driveway has to be no less than 5 feet from an adjacent lot line. But is there an ordinance provision that controls the width of the driveway?
Not per se, however, we do have regulations as to how much impervious cover can be on a site. So how much of the site isn't covered by like grass or green space, it's covered by buildings or pavement, that would be for the driveway, so.
So
don't
I
know
guess
if
what
that
I'm
answers your
asking is if
question.
they increase the size of the call it a driveway. Right now it's 103, they need to increase it so that it's 150.
Oh, their, road frontage?
Yes. So, but that would eat into the property to the east.
Well,
And if it,
rather than go through further discussion, I want to come back to your point. Are you comfortable that you have an option? If we turn your original request down, do you now see a path to your objective? If not, we'll go through the rest of it, but we're gonna come back to a vote in which I think the feelings are that under the way it is now, we don't have the authority to grant you a variance. Do you want us to proceed, or shall we call for a vote?
Or the other, well, it sounds like the vote would be that we would go through with this.
I can't predict, but that's, you've heard the feelings.
Yes. And our other options would be
The one
To
that staff
reduce
recommended.
the-
reduce the size where we wouldn't have to go through this.
Correct, as well as, I'm sure, Miles, our zoning administrator, he's currently not here tonight, but I'm sure him and other staff would be more than happy to explore other options for this property with you outside of a meeting like this as well.
Sounds like you have the expertise as a consultant to do it.
Sounds reasonable.
It sounds reasonable. I would say go ahead and call your vote, and we'll look at the other options. I would say let's go ahead and call the vote, and we'll look at other options.
Okay, I take your recommendation. You could be a council member. Is there a sense of a motion on the board, or do you want more discussion?
Do you want us to make a motion to take?
Please,
I'll make the
entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to vote on this.
Okay, in which direction?
Well,
Deny it?
do you want us all to vote right now?
If you make a motion, we'll discuss it.
Okay, I'll make the motion to discuss it.
Or to
I'll make the motion to
deny the request.
deny the request.
Is there support for that motion?
Yes.
I'm sorry? There's support. Now, discussion. Any further discussion? If no discussion, staff, are you comfortable?
Yeah, would you like me to give a roll call vote for you guys?
Please.
So a yes vote is to deny.
Yeah, that would be correct. A yay would be to deny, and a nay would be to keep discussing this or to approve the variance. So, Mr. Sealanders,
Yes.
Mr. Shaheen,
Yes.
Commissioner Crainer,
Yes.
Mr. Harand,
No, I think we should grant the variance.
and Trustee Cocky.
Yes.
Motion is denied. We appreciate your coming up, we appreciate your contribution to the discussion, and we wish you luck with your objective.
Thank you.
Gentlemen and ladies, is there anything else that you would like to discuss?
You had
Discussing.
mentioned, Paul, I think it was in these meeting minutes or somewhere I saw it, that you were talking to Miles about having elections for the board.
Oh, that's right.
You said, you claim to be getting old
Yes,
and we needed to have elections. And I thought,
that's right. I wonder, staff was on vacation, so I didn't raise it, but you're right.
okay, next meeting,
As you wish,
Yeah.
schedule to have elections.
yes.
We don't know when the next
Elections for
meeting
what?
is.
Well,
With board
Once a year.
once a
That's
year.
getting to be what it
Oh,
is.
actually, Miles was talking that there's a potential for one next month.
Oh,
Yeah.
What was that?
There's a
There-
potential for another one in April.
Thank you,
Oh,
Beth.
okay.
I do know there were several developers that were watching to see the outcome of this meeting to see if they were gonna put their app in, so you guys might have,
Well,
You
let
know,
it be put
right-
on the agenda that we haven't had an election, and we should schedule it for the next meeting.
alright, sweet, I'll write a note for Miles then, for when he gets back.
You know, she mentioned a couple times Mary. I assume she means Mary Wrigley.
Yes, that would be who she's referring to.
Yeah, Mary Wrigley did exactly what these folks wanted to do. Just, you know, remember Wrigley Field?
Yeah, no, I don't remember
Mary
the
Wrigley.
discussion.
If
Wrigley
you go,
Field, yeah.
Wrigley Field is just to the east of this property. And Mary Wrigley was a wonderful woman. She split her property, and she created a driveway on the eastern edge of her property that went all the way to the back, and they developed the back.
I don't recall that, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, and there's a big sign that says Wrigley Field.
I know the field, I
Yeah.
come by on the way here. I didn't remember the
but
process.
was that before was that before 87 when the ordinances came in?
No, it was after.
No, it's
That
after,
was after.
afterwards. Are you familiar with the property, the Wrigley Field property, yeah?
Yeah.
And there are a couple homes back there, right?
Yes, he owns all of the property except for 2 pieces.
Well, that was gonna be one of my questions is, the Land Division Act application to all of this. I'm assuming that that's not gonna be an issue with this property?
We did the research and we have, I thought all of them were used, but I did discover one land division that was not used, and like she said, it was on the pond parcel, but because he owns it, he can transfer it to the house parcel, so he could use the one land division that is still left on this parcel.
Right.
So it would meet the Land Division Act, and he could do that land division on that parcel, to create this second.
So the only impediment is access from Slate?
Correct, under the zoning ordinance.
Ordinance, yeah.
So not under the Land Division Act, he meets the Land Division Act.
Right, no, I
it's under
understand.
the zoning ordinance.
Yeah.
And under our zoning ordinance, they have to have road frontage,
Hundred and fifty
in order
feet.
to do that. So it can't use, an easement, it has to have road frontage. All of our districts have to have road frontage,
And that pond has road frontage too, doesn't it,
correct?
that parcel? So would they,
If you zoom out, can you zoom out for me,
Yeah.
please?
so what you're suggesting is they combine the,
All of the parcels that was created on Cordell Drive, all of them have road frontage.
right,
If you look up there, this all has road frontage on there.
You're
So-
talking about to the south of Slate Road?
No, this is to the north. All of this here
Has frontage
has frontage.
on Slate?
On either Cordell
no.
or on Slate. They don't have it on Slate.
Oh, I
Pond
see,
parcel has it on
I see,
Slate or Cordell.
That give me another option.
But Cordell is a public road.
right.
This parcel here is the one that they're trying to
Right.
create a parcel for them to build on.
And
But they own all of it?
They own all of it except for
Everything in there.
this parcel here and the parcel above it.
Oh, okay.
Mary's original house and the one below it that she built.
She was such a great lady.
Does staff understand what he was trying to say?
Yeah, there's other avenues for potential land division here.
Okay, relative to the property we
We were
denied.
discussing,
If
yeah.
they reconfigure the property, there's no limitations on what shape it can take? It can be all
As long as it-
handhandled and stuff?
It can be that as long as it's meeting the road frontage.
Yeah, that's,
At
It
least
can,
on-
it can look like a flag as long as it's meeting that road frontage.
See,
Then it's no longer a flag, right?
Yeah,
The flag would be that it has that small road frontage parcel,
right.
even though it opens up
It's
to
the
a flag.
flagpole.
But as long as it's meeting the road frontage, it can still open up to that other portion.
Yeah.
I'd be interested, we have a chairman here. What was the rationale for denying flag lots?
Well, flag lots are not, I can't give you the rationale, I wasn't on the
Right,
planning commission
I
when
wasn't,
it
yeah.
developed. They just are,
The rationale was all the driveways coming out to the road and having those parcels built in behind another person.
Oh, that's it.
That was where we were going when we did away with those, and having all those extra driveways coming out onto the roadway.
But the other side of that argument is, we've got a lot of usable land for people,
You could argue both ways of that, Paul,
yeah.
but, you know, it was argued and it was trashed and it was stomped and it was everything else, but.
I remember there was
yeah.
a very conservative, fearful thing, but as the community develops and as the population increases, land use becomes the value. And having a lot of 10-acre lots that you can't use becomes a public discussion, or it could be, and
And we did away with the private drives, but now we've just brought them back, but we brought them back with different restrictions
Yeah.
and things, so, you know, we'll have to watch them as they are developed, and we have different guidelines with them than a free-for-all. So, as those develop over the next 5 to 10 years, we'll just have to see how they go, and, you know, hopefully that will be the guidelines that we'll use rather than do we bring flag lots back, or do we not use any other tool in our toolbox? It does give us a new tool, so we'll be able to watch how those get developed. And we put in, with the planning, planner Miles, he did a great job on putting that together and having maintenance agreements now, which we haven't had in the past.
Thank you.
And so much, yeah, so, I mean, I know that there are plenty of private drives that we do have maintenance agreements on, but we haven't watched them. And so they're out there, they're not really being maintained, and then we have some that are being maintained, and then we have some that we don't even know if they ever had a maintenance agreement.
Well, I can tell you, I opposed to getting rid of them because I created one as as a developer living out there. I supported having a maintenance agreement as part of the bylaws of the organization. And the Tamarack Trail, we have that. And the population pays dues every year, it accumulates, and they take care of their own road. And we never get a call about that road. But there are some limits to this, because personalities get in the way of a small organization.
Is it a private drive or a private road?
Well, we have a private road as part of the condo association.
Okay.
But I didn't support the idea of getting rid of private roads. I thought what we should do is make sure the organization makes a commitment to sustain the road. That's our objective. The township doesn't want to inherit that stuff
Right.
and get in all the fights.
Neither does the county.
So if you put it in the deeds, and you put it in the organizational contract, that they have to do it, then they're liable. If they do it or don't do it, it's their problem.
Yeah,
It's not the township's.
We recently
I don't wanna prolong this anymore, but I was curious. You're saying that if the drive on the other side of Slate Road could be less than 150 feet?
This one, right here?
Yeah,
Yeah, so the
because of the
front-
lot?
Yeah, because the
Size
lot
is
is under
under
30,000
three-
square feet.
Under 30,000 square feet. I'll think
Seems like
I have no
a
clue.
distinction without a difference to me, but, okay.
It's still a.
It's in the rule, that's all.
Yeah, I know, I understand, but if,
One of the
Those
reasons,
on
one of
the
the reasons
south side were
that
probably
law came into
built
being,
before
that ordinance
1987.
is
That is my guess, yeah, we
because
can check
although we
right
want
now.
to
Because we've
encourage
given,
Some of them
development,
are, some of them
you know,
are
and
not.
grow,
That
we
was
don't wanna lose
platted or
the
whatever they did.
rural
'cause that
character of the
subdivision
township.
on
That's,
Slate Road.
that's what was told to me,
I know, and that's always been,
and that's a very
I've
subjective.
had this
way-
argument,
It is
this discussion before, they wanna maintain the
87, and
rural.
We've had variances, we had to give a
I
guy
understand.
variance to put a,
I
porch roof over his front door,
highlighted and was
but his
gonna
house
read
was
during
too
the-
close to the road.
the legislative
And every
intent
other
in the
house on road
ordinance.
was the same distance back.
You
And
know,
he couldn't
it-
have one because he was too
Okay,
close
we got
to
it.
the road.
Yeah.
We'd let him
Yeah.
All
have it.
right, do I hear, is there
But
more
it
discussion?
wasn't his fault.
Motion to adjourn.
What?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I hear a motion to adjourn, and then we voted on it. Thank you, everybody, for tonight. It's good to see all of you.
Especially you